Go.
Streaming from South Africa to the world. This is the Stonks Go Moon podcast. What just happened? We break it down so you don't have to.
Let's fucking go. Woo! I'm fired up.
Welcome everyone to the Stonks Go Moon podcast. My guest today, Jake Karls, co-founder of Midday Squares. Jake, how are you?
Oh, I'm fired up, man. I was fired up to meet you. What are you talking about? We talk on LinkedIn and all this jazz. I was finally excited to see your face. And
Dude, what did you guys raise? 4 million USD?
We raised a total of right now 10 total.
It's at 10. So
10 million USD.
Am I right to say hottest FMCG brand in North America at the moment?
We're Canada 100%. In North America, we're gunning for that. That's their goal, is to be the number one in the refrigerated snacking space over the next 2 years.
But that's where the trend is going, right? Nothing's going to stop you.
Yeah, it shouldn't stop us. It can't stop us. You got to just give good vibes, and good vibes, everyone wants good vibes.
That's it. Listen, let's get right into it. Actuary, boring as fuck. Sorry, but that's what it is. You made a major pivot. I mean, talk about pivots. This might be the granddaddy of all pivots into the FMCG space. Talk to me about that. What happened? What was going through your thoughts? What was going through your mind? Like, how did that all come about?
Yeah, dude. So the pivot was bold. So I was always good at mathematics and statistics my entire life. I wasn't good at creative, actually, believe it or not. So writing and anything like that. So I decided to go the mathematic route because it was easier for me. And when I went to college for it, I was so bored, man. Like, I was sitting in class and I was like, I hate this. Like, I actually hate what I'm doing. But, you know, a society tells you, go finish school, get a job. And I was like, you know what, I'll just do it. I'll suck it up. But then something hit me. Third year university, I was like, what the fuck? What am I effing doing? Because I'm like, this is whack, man. This is like, I'm sitting there miserable, sucking something up, which I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. Why don't I just figure out what I actually love and do it? So I had all this pressure from my parents, family, friends, the school. And I ended up just saying, screw it. I ain't doing this anymore. And I'm not going to become an actuary. And I have respect for a lot of actuaries because what they do is crazy cool. But it's not fun for me. So if it's not fun for me, why would I do it? And then I pivoted into entrepreneurship, failed 2 businesses. And then this business that I'm on to now is so far on a good train. But, you know, I always realized that people, where I wanted to be around people, I wanted humanization. I wanted culture, community. I wanted all that vibe. And actuarial science doesn't give you that. It gives you boring old numbers. That's all it does. So it was a big pivot, but my ego took a hit. That's what it was. My ego really took a hit. And you just follow your gut, man. Following your gut is important.
But that's a good pace, right? Because you had all the business subjects, you had everything to basically go on this journey. So why chocolate, man?
Oh, dude, chocolate. So yeah, so I'm actually a candy man, brother. I love candy, and I'm not a chocolate guy. And what happened was, my sister and brother-in-law are chocolate lovers. Like, they're my partners. We're a family business.
Preach.
They are obsessed with chocolate, like diehards. Like, and I couldn't understand why. I was like, yo, I love the Sour Patch Kids, the candies, the confection, all this jazz. And I'm actually trying to get Sour Patch Kids to sponsor me. If they're listening, they should.
Hashtag sponsor.
Yeah, exactly. No, but so yeah, they were chocolate lovers. And my sister thought that she could make my brother-in-law, her husband, a healthier version of what he was eating at the time, was all this unhealthy chocolate.
Yeah.
And she did. She made him what we call the Midday Square today. And it was basically plant-based, you know, 100% organic, all clean ingredients, but tasted delicious. And we launched it. We decided to come together. I'm a hype man. I'm a community guy. My brother-in-law is a software engineer, so he's very analytical and actually number-driven. Yeah. And then my sister is a great executor and creator. So when you put those together, you create a puzzle, right? So we're very different skill sets. And then we launched the chocolate space. But one thing that is important to announce why we chose chocolate was because we received a report in 2017 that showed that real chocolate was growing at 44% year over year, what I mean by real chocolate is anything above 55% cocoa mass and made with cocoa butter, not palm kernel oil. Yeah. And that vegan protein, so plant-based proteins, was on a tear, and it's probably on a bigger tear now. It was at 36% year over year. So when it all clicked, my brother-in-law, because he's a number guy and he's a data nerd, he put it together. He's like, oh my God, Leslie's making me this snack that is a baby of those two things.
Let's go.
let's go, baby. And then we launched in August 2018. So that's when we started.
Amazing. I want to circle back to use a corporate term. I hate it, but let's go with it. Yeah. You talked about community, relationships. How important is that in the FMCG industry, and what kind of tips can you give people looking to enter the space in relation to community and building those relationships? Because I know I've seen your LinkedIn posts, I've seen you dance, I've seen you like talk to the shop owners and stuff. So I know you are focusing on that. So I want to get into that.
Yeah. Most important, you just hit the spot. So in the food world, everyone can go make a good product, more or less. Like there's so many manufacturers around the world. You know, the food space is so old that you have to think about it. There's so much potential on innovation. We have technology now. So it's not about that. It's about making people feel part of something. And I think a lot of food and beverage brands forget about that. They don't invest in creating a authentic community. And I hate the buzzword authentic, but I'm going to use it because it makes sense. Yeah. So for us, how we built our community was we tell the story of how we're building this business, but I'm talking about the good, the bad, the ugly. We film everything. We show it at raw level because that relates to the human. Talking about that it's vegan and this stuff, it's great and all that. That's a standard, but no one wants to hear it twice. They don't want to hear that twice. They want to be part of something that they could feel as if it's theirs, right? So our mandate every day is to make our customers or our consumers feel like they're buying from me, Nick, and my sister, or like a family or a friend, and not the healthy chocolate bar in the refrigerator. So when you change that and you build the community, your value as a company goes from being a 2 to 3 multiple on top line to 8 to 20, because community is the hardest thing to get, because our world today, to get someone's attention is almost impossible, because there's thousands on millions of pieces of content that you see within a week.
Lots of noise.
Something has to break through it, right? And the only way you break is through relatability and connectivity. So I think a lot of food brands are missing the point on that. And I hope we can create a case study about it. I hope that our business journey and hopefully our success one day will show that sharing the story and being transparent and real and a bit raw and vulnerable actually works.
Interesting point, right? So I want to leave you with one question. And if you had the knowledge, right, that you had today, everything, talking about everything, and you can go back and change like one thing about MDS, what would that be?
This is what it would be. So we would have hired HR right away. Why I say that is because we're a family. Midday Squares is 52 or 53 people. I can't remember the exact amount now.
But it's a family business.
And we see a business therapist once a week. My sister, my brother, and I.
I love it. I love it. That's
2 hours just to work on our communication and not hate each other, right?
Yeah.
Or beat each other up. But no, HR really makes a difference because it distracts you. Dealing with humans are very different. They're very complex. The bigger you get, the more human baggage you're going to have within your company, because everyone's from different cultures, you have to understand how to deal with that. And if you put it on the founders, it distracts them from what they're supposed to be doing. Yes, we want to work so hard to create the best culture, the best vibe of our company, but we need to now implement an HR system, because Leslie, my sister, takes care of all this, and her brain needs to be focused on manufacturing. It really does. So it's a distraction. And I wish we knew this day one, because that would have been a priority, but we delayed till right now to hire an HR squad or internally, because listen, you want your team to feel as comfortable as possible. You want them to be as open as possible, and you don't want to get as distracted with all the human problems, because humans have problems. We all do. And I get it. And we want to empathize. And anyway, so I think that was the biggest thing. Number 2, I think quickly would be not giving a shit about anything, because at the end of the day, like the risk of building a business is only so rewarding if you really take that edgy approach, because there's too many conglomerates that own the space. Yes. So they have the network, they have the relationships, they have the distribution. All they're going to do is bully you out or push you out, right? So if you can make that risk and you can get edgy, you start breaking barriers. You start making noise, disrupting I wish we just did that right away instead of waited like a year to start being that not fuck you mentality, but just
I know what you mean.
Ruthless but kind.
Ruthless but kind. I like that. Listen, quick one. Off the cuff. If Nestle comes tomorrow and say, Jack, here's a blank checkbook, brother. You right? No.
No. So not yet. And I'll tell you why. We want to be a modern day chocolate conglomerate. So we want to take the word conglomerate and get rid of the negative connotation that people think about big corp. Shouldn't be that way. You could build a new age business that is different and approaches things differently, not so bureaucratic. So we really want to see it through. We have a clear path to getting to $100 million in revenue over the next 3 years. We're going to follow that model. Hopefully it takes us there. We might fail. Don't get me wrong. But if we make it there, what is it like to build a business of that magnitude with the community that we're building?
Yeah.
Is it going to look like Lululemon? Is it going to look like Nike? Is it going to look like in the food space though? Because no one's done it in the food space. Everyone's done it in fashion, in tech, and all this other stuff. But in food, it's always the same boring thing. The acquirers come, they take the companies, they buy them, they put them in the machine and
shell them out, and then there's nothing left. Yeah.
There's nothing left. There's no lightning left.
If there's anyone that can do it, it's you. I believe in you. Listen, if the listeners want to connect with you, where can they do it? Where can they connect with Midday Squares? What's the best channels?
So Instagram or LinkedIn. Instagram, it's at Midday Squares or J Karls, either or. And then LinkedIn's just J Karls. I'm very active on both. Just message me and more than happy to chat. And if you want to know more about the business, Midday Squares on every platform. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, website, www.middaysquares.com. And then all the retailers if you want to get the product or online.
And we'll put those links in the comments. To our listeners, peace, love, and prosperity. And we'll check you in the next one. Cheers.